guys, it's Grace, and today I have a big old box from Book Outlet. I'm so excited. I love Book Outlet so much. It's probably one of my favorite places on this planet, which isn't even a place that I go, but it's a place that I shop a lot. So if you're looking for really good deals on books, go check out Book Outlet. It's fantastic. No sponsorships or anything, but I just love them. So I'm sharing my love with you guys. Also, I apologize, I have a little bit of a cold, so if you hear me being a little congested, that's why. I'm just gonna go through this box and show you guys which books I purchased, and let's get right into it because there's quite a few in here and I tend to ramble. First of all, we have paper. You can't eat the paper. I'm so sorry. And then we have a packing slip. I got a few books that I hadn't really heard much about, and then I got a few books that I've been wanting for a while. So there's a nice mix in here today. So the first book in here is Eliza and Her Monsters. I have heard amazing things about this book, and I've been wanting to read it forever. The cover of this book is so cute. It just is beyond adorable. I believe Eliza writes an online webcomic, and there's a guy who transfers to her school, and he has a really popular fan fiction of her webcomic, but he doesn't know that she's the author of it, and I think eventually her secret comes out into the open, and it's basically her trying to deal with now everybody knowing that she is the author of that webcomic. So it sounds really interesting. I love these kinds of stories, so I'm super excited to give this one a try. Next up, I have a book that I've heard very mixed things about, and that is 100 Sideways Miles by Andrew Smith. So I actually don't even really know the premise of this, but it sounded kind of funny and kind of interesting, and I don't really know what to think about it. It was like $2, so I was like, honestly, why wouldn't I get this book and just try it out? I think Book Outlet is one of the most amazing places to go just grab books that you might not give a try otherwise because they're just so cheap. You can't justify not buying them. It sounds kind of trippy. It sounds kind of like, okay, is this gonna be real, or is it all just in our main character's head? So I don't know how to describe it, so I'm just gonna read the back of the book, and hopefully that does a better job explaining it than I would be able to. So it says, Finn Easton sees the world through miles instead of minutes. It's how he makes sense of the world and how he tries to convince himself that he's a real boy and not just a character in his father's best-selling cult classic book. Finn has two things going for him: his best friend, the possibly insane but definitely excellent Cade Hernandez, and Julia Bishop, the first girl he's ever loved. Then Julia moves away and Finn is heartbroken. Feeling restless and trapped in the book, Finn embarks on a road trip with Cade to visit their college of choice in Oklahoma. When an unexpected accident happens and the boys become unlikely heroes, they take an eye-opening detour away from everything they thought they had planned and learn how to write their own destiny. So it sounds kind of crazy and kind of fun, and I don't know, it sounds equally heartbreaking and lighthearted, but I honestly have no idea. I know next to nothing about this book except for the description that Book Outlet gave me and the description I just read on the back. So I'm looking forward to giving this a try and seeing what the whole thing is about. Next up was another one that I didn't really know a whole lot about, but the description sounded interesting, and that is Love and Other Train Wrecks by Leah Conan. So this book, I believe a friend of mine got for her birthday recently, and I read the description, and then I also saw it on Book Outlet and didn't know a whole lot about it, but the description sounded interesting, so I decided to pick it up because it was very cheap. Based on everything I've read about it, it sounds like our two main characters, Noah, and it's A-M-M-Y, so I'm not sure if it's supposed to be Amy or Amy. But anyway, the two of them end up on an Amtrak together, and the Amtrak breaks down in the middle of a snowstorm. So the two of them have to figure out how they're gonna get back to their destination, and there might be a little bit of a romance that blossoms between the two of them. So I'm very excited to give this a try because I've been kind of in the mood for a little contemporary, and this sounds really cool. Also, the cover is adorable. The next book I have here I'm very excited about. It is The Becoming of Noah Shah by Michelle Hodkins. So, as you guys may know, I really enjoyed the Mara Dyer trilogy, and I love Noah Shah as a character, so I'm really excited to find out more about him in his own trilogy. I just know that it follows Noah Shah and has something to do with him and Mara Dyer. And that's enough for me. That's all I really need to know. I am completely hooked and ready to start this book. Next up, I have another book that I really knew nothing about, but that after reading the description, I thought it sounded super interesting, plus it was only about $2, and that is Going Bovine by Libba Bray. I have read one other book by Libba Bray, and I really enjoyed it, so I was hoping that this one would be just as fun. Also, it won a Prince Award, so I'm hoping that means it's a good read. It sounded kind of funny based on the description on Book Outlet, and I really enjoy funny books. I also don't really know how to explain it very well, so I'm just going to read the back of this one as well. All 16-year-old Cameron wants is to get through high school and life in general with a minimum of effort. But that's before he's given some bad news. He's going to die. Hope arrives in the winged form of Dulcie, a loopy punk angel / possible hallucination with a bad sugar habit. She tells Cam there is a cure, if he's willing to go in search of it. With the help of Gonzo, a death-obsessed video gaming dwarf, and a yard gnome who just might be the Viking god Balder, Cam sets off on the mother of all road trips through a twisted America, into the heart of what matters most. So I think this sounds like a really good, like, travel, coming of age, like, life exploration kind of story, and it also sounds like it could have some deeper meanings besides just, like, the stuff that's going on probably in his head that might be a side effect of him being about to die. But I'm very excited to give this a try nonetheless. Next book is a book I have heard lots of good things about, or at least lots of hype about. I don't know if I've actually heard people's, like, after reading opinions of this book, but I've heard a lot of people talking about it, and that is Windfall by Jennifer E. Smith. So this story follows two best friends, Alice and Teddy. For Teddy's 18th birthday, Alice buys him a lottery ticket, and the lottery ticket ends up being a big winner, and he wins $140 million. The two of them are basically navigating what they're gonna do with all of this money. It sounds like the winning of that lottery ends up being a little bit more of a curse and starts to create kind of a little gulf between the two characters. I've heard really good things about this author, and there's some good blurbs from other authors I like on the back, so that's always a real good plus. Also, this cover is super cute in my opinion. I think it's just a super pretty cover, and again, this book was cheap. I heard good things about it, so why wouldn't I pick it up? Next up, I have Our Dark Duet by Victoria Schwab. I don't have the first book in this duology yet, but I figured why not pick this one up since it was there for a good price, because I know I want to read this duology at some point. I have heard amazing things about this duology, and I'm sure all of you know the premise by now, so I'm not going to explain it. I'm very excited to pick up this duology as soon as I can get my hands on the first book. The next book I have is Flame in the Mist by Renee Ahdieh. I'm so excited about this book. It sounds like a really interesting, empowering story, and also I loved Renee Ahdieh's other two books, The Wrath and the Dawn and The Rose and the Dagger. They were really good reads, so I'm hoping we have some similar trends in this book. This book follows our main character, Mariko. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm sorry if I butcher it. But anyway, we follow her, and since she was born a girl, really her only destiny is to provide her parents with a little bit of a leg up by marrying someone. So she's put into kind of an arranged marriage situation, but on her way there, her convoy was attacked, and she ends up being the only survivor. So she ends up, you know, surviving and heading off into this village disguised as a boy, where she's respected for the things that she was previously kind of just ignored for, like her intelligence, her cunning, all of that stuff. And then there's also supposed to be a bit of a romance in the story, and all of that leaves her kind of questioning her past and maybe thinking about creating a better future for herself. So I'm very excited. It sounds really good, very empowering, and I love this author, so I'm very excited to give this one a try. And lastly, I felt kind of bad about buying this one, but also not bad at all. It is A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas. Now you guys are probably like, Grace, we know you already own a copy of this book. And yes, that is true. But it's the paperback copy, and it's currently sitting in my ACOTAR, like, shrine that I have on top of my bookshelf. So I wanted a hardcover copy to match my other copies because they need to like all be in one place and they need to all match. Anyway, this is the bridge story between the ACOTAR trilogy and the next part of the series that we really don't have any information on still. And it's kind of killing me, but it's fine. I'll survive. We'll all survive. It's fine. If you want to talk about ACOTAR in the comments, I'd be happy to. Those are all the books in my book outlet haul. I hope you guys enjoyed. I definitely did. It was a lot of fun, and now I can't decide what I should read next. I am almost done with, well, not really almost done. I think I have 3 books left in the Throne of Glass series, which I'm also loving. I have heard to kind of guard my heart for what happens next. I'm reading Empire of Storms right now. No spoilers, please. But I'm slightly worried. That's enough of me rambling. I know it's been a while since I put up a video on this channel. I'm writing a book right now, so that's exciting, and I'm reading a semi-fair amount, and there's just lots of book stuff to talk about. So if you want me to make a specific video on something, let me know, and I'd be happy to do it. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. Comment below anything you want to talk about, if you've read any of these books, or if you have a specific one you think I should start with. Also, subscribe to my channel and hit that bell icon so you get notified whenever I post a new video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!